I'm leaving Gjirokastër. It's about 11 in the morning on Tuesday, and I'm heading on out of town. Now I'm going to drive to Ksamil in the south, the road. I go north on the highway here, and then take a left on the new freeway that has a tunnel, so it's faster down to Saranda. This new freeway has a tunnel that helps cut at least an hour, maybe 2 hours off the drive from Tirana to Saranda. I'm coming from Gjirokastër, and it cuts a considerable amount of time off the drive as well. The fancy freeway just ended, and now it's back to the old road. But you can see they're working on it here to make it just as fancy as the other road. So probably within less than a year, this will be a baller highway, just like the one I just left. Over there, they're carving out the new roadbed. I'm almost on the coast. I'm on the road that goes from Saranda to Ksamil, which is a little bit on the interior, just on the other side of the mountains from the actual ocean. I'll be in Ksamil in about 15 minutes or so, I believe. The road is one of the old skinny roads, but I'm pretty close, so it shouldn't be too long. Look how pretty this is. So I've arrived in Ksamil, and I found my place, but I couldn't find anybody around to let me in my room. So I'm going down to the store on the corner and check out the town a little bit. It's pretty touristy, and there's a lot of construction going on here, and a lot of people getting in on the rental action of buildings. You can see there's a building, new building here, little horsey in the background there. So I'm kicking it here on a park bench, and the construction here in Ksamil is hot and heavy. It reminds me of a Spanish town in the south back in the 80s and 90s when they were building furiously. There are lots of partially finished buildings, piles of rubble and such. Once they finish this place, it will have some frontline sea views. My goodness. This place also seems partially finished. They haven't gotten the top floor done yet, but I think there might be some people staying in there. It's hard to tell. But it also will have some spectacular views from the top floor when it's finished. I always seem to find the dark underbelly of places that I visit, and this might be part of Ksamil's dark, dirty underbelly. I believe I've just found the tourist street. I was walking around the neighborhood getting lost on streets that dead-ended, and this looks like the beginning of the tourist strip. Yeah, I've been here for about 2 hours walking around, and this town, definitely not my cup of tea. I think the ocean is beautiful. The setting was spectacular, but now I prefer something a little more tranquil and less frantically built up. But whatever, you know, to each his own, as they say. Super windy out here today. These are the famous little coves of the beaches here in Ksamil. You can pay some money to go out there and hang out at one of the umbrellas. You pay for a chair. I don't think it's too expensive. Well, I can say that the grilled meat smells tasty, and it's making me hungry. But I don't want to eat down here in the restaurant zone because it's just too cheesy for me. I'm sorry. I mean, it's really nice. You can sit by the water and eat dinner, but I'm just gonna go back into the town and get some souvlaki. The sun is setting over the town of Ksamil, and it's nice and cool out, breezy, mid 70s Fahrenheit. This morning I'm headed to Butrint National Park. It's an ancient ruin just south of here. And then I'm going to Konispol, right on the Greek border down south, and possibly visit a couple of villages where they make olive oil and cheese. I'm in the village of Zara, sort of getting lost, having a good time. Google Maps lies. I followed the blue dot knowing that it would probably be a false lead, and it certainly was. Now I'm trying to head back to the normal road. So I've switched my plans, and I'm going to drive to Konispol and then make my way back up and see if I can find my way to Butrint in the afternoon. This is the village of Mursi on the edge of a nice lake. I'm not going to go up into the town because the roads are narrow and lots of dead ends and rocky little pathways, but I just wanted to drive up a little ways and check it out. Lots of mandarin and citrus trees in Mursi. I am in Chameria, which is the region of Southern Albania that encompasses the region of Konispol and a little bit of northern Greece as well. I've made it to the center of Konispol, the downtown of the city, or town more like it. So I'll go see what's happening in this lovely place. It's a very steep town, like Gjirokastër, or maybe even more so, and pretty small too. It's the regional seat, government seat. It's spread out across the hillside quite a bit, so a lot of territory it occupies, but it's pretty well dispersed on a couple hillsides. It's pretty cool terrain though. You get a great view of the ocean in the distance from some of the vantage points in town. Here's a lovely view of part of the town of Konispol and the lovely Ionian Sea in the distance, and some olive trees that are almost ready to harvest. Albania has no shortage of miraculous vistas. Everywhere you look, there's some beautiful scenery. I picked a lady up on the way up the hill. She was just standing on the side of the road, waved me down. She got in the car, and I said I spoke a little sheep. I said, Flaspak sheep, I speak a little sheep. And then she started talking really fast, and I didn't even know what she was saying. 99%, I could barely pick out anything. So I just kept saying Nuk Kuptoi, which means I don't understand. And she just moaned. She was like, And then suddenly she just told me, stop now. And I stopped, and she jumped out, and all the cars behind us were honking, and she got out, and that was it. In my brief time in Konispol, I bought some mountain cheese from a little store. I stopped and had a double espresso in the town square. And on my walk out of town back to my car, I bought a slice of pizza and a little sweet treat of some sort from a nice lady that had a little bakery. I was able to practice some Albanian, and as soon as I start saying anything in Albanian, they start talking fast, and I can't understand hardly anything. Plus, I can tell there's an accent here that is different, and it's much harder to understand because anything that strays too far from standard Albanian is difficult for me to understand. The olive trees around here have not been harvested yet. They're still pretty green. It's only September 21st, so that's what you would expect. I think they start harvesting sometime in October. I just left the town of Konispol, and I'm headed to Betrint now. Before I left, I stopped in at a little pastisserie and got a slice of pizza and this little figgy treat here from a nice lady in the bakery. And this little figgy treat has toasted almonds in it, so it's super good. And it's got, it's been rolled in powdered sugar. So I have powdered sugar all over my shirt now. So messy little treat, but certainly tasty. Raki Stepiak.
Stepiak.